The Group Assessment Design Project, a critical task for ESE 4323. Let's look at the purpose of this critical task. Number 1, you will work in groups established by your professor to design a mini-thematic interdisciplinary unit that incorporates at least 3 content areas. 2, your group will select a target grade level and develop a topic that is aligned with Florida standards. 3, your unit should include adaptations for culturally and linguistically diverse students, as well as students with exceptionalities. 4, in addition to formative assessments, your unit should conclude with a summative performance assessment that measures student learning for the objectives for each content area. Here are some questions to ask while getting started. First, who are your group members and what are their content areas of expertise? What grade level will the unit be designed for? What topics within the Florida standards at the chosen grade level might serve as the focus of the unit? What 3 content areas might align well with topics associated with the specific grade level? Let's consider the process outlined by Wiggins and McTeague for designing a unit plan. Stage 1, the desired outcome. Stage 2, determine your assessment evidence. And Stage 3, develop the learning plan. In determining the desired outcome, which is associated with Stage 1, you will be brainstorming what essential questions would lead to an enduring understanding about the topic you select. Ask, what is worthy of understanding? In determining the assessment evidence, which is associated with Stage 2, you will consider what formative assessment tools will allow you to measure the mastery of skills that will lead to the enduring understanding about the topic. Finally, what type of summative performance assessment would measure students' enduring understanding of the topic? Ask, what is evidence of understanding? When developing Stage 3, the learning plan, you will consider what daily activities within a 5-day unit will allow you to meet your instructional objectives, will allow you to engage students on a journey toward deep learning and enduring understanding, will allow you to meet the needs of diverse learners in the classroom, and will allow you to determine how activities will build the skills associated with the performance criteria in the Summative Performance Assessment. Ask, what learning experiences will promote understanding, engagement, and high achievement? Let's look at steps in getting started. Step 1. Download the Group Assessment Design Project Unit Planning Template, which includes the following required components: your group names, target population, the unit title, formatting and organizing center, creating a concept wheel, developing essential questions, determining acceptable evidences of student learning, developing one summative performance assessment, the unit rationale, and the learning plan. Step 2 in the process. Establish an initial meeting time with your group members. You can meet in the chat space within Canvas, through another web-based tool, or in person. During this meeting, plan to ask one group member to place the unit planning template in Google Docs, where all group members may access it simultaneously. Find time to look at the provided sample and rubric. Then select a grade level and 3 content areas. Review the standards associated with those 3 content areas and grade level and determine what topics might be worthy of pursuing for a 5-day interdisciplinary unit. Review the unit planning template closely and complete 2 sections the Identify Target Population section and the Format and Organizing Center sections together. Step 3. Before setting your date and time for your next meeting, consider assigning group members to complete the Create a Concept Wheel section in the unit planning template. Each group member should also develop essential questions that are associated with his or her content area of expertise in the section entitled Essential Questions for Each Content Area. Remember that each content area will be working to answer one central essential question that serves as the cog of the wheel, which is the heart of the interdisciplinary unit. Step 4. Come back together as a group for a second meeting. At this meeting, you'll need to do the following. First, share your essential questions that you developed for specific content areas. Ensure that those questions are aligned with the central theme and the guiding, essential question of the unit. Next, work together to complete the next section, entitled Determine Acceptable Evidences of Student Learning within the unit planning template. Discuss as a group what skills associated with each content area students need to learn, as well as what formative assessment tools you will use to monitor their achievement of the skills. Finally, share ideas for the unit's Summative Performance Assessment. Plan to complete this section as you talk together, but decide how the group will develop the performance criteria that will be associated with its evaluation tool, which could be a rubric or a checklist. See Chapter 8 for other ideas for performance assessment evaluation tools. Step 5. Devise a strategy for your group to complete the last section of the unit planning template, which is called the Learning Plan. Your unit should last a minimum of 5 days, but the number of lesson plans you create will depend on the approach you wish to take. Let's look at two options. Option 1. Plan 5 days where all 3 content areas are integrated into each lesson. This approach may work best for elementary teachers. Be aware, however, that each lesson should incorporate the essential questions and skill-building activities that are associated with each content area. Option 2. Plan 5 days of lessons that are thematically aligned. However, each content area will have its own 5 lessons. If you choose this option, you will be submitting a total of 15 lesson plans. 5 lessons for each of the 3 content areas. This option might be easiest for secondary teachers who are accustomed to teaching their content area within isolation. Step 6. Schedule a third group meeting, a time for each group member to discuss his or her contribution to the learning plan, and what type of evaluation tool has been developed or is being developed for the Summative Performance Assessment. Also, look at the section now in the unit planning template entitled Unit Rationale. Determine how each group member might contribute to the writing of the rationale, which should contain the following parts: the process by which you arrived at your unit's theme, how your learning activities in each lesson plan are aligned with the skills you want the students to master, why you chose specific types of formative assessments to measure students' mastery of those skills, and finally, why you chose a specific type of performance assessment that will allow students to demonstrate their enduring understanding of the big idea or essential question. Feel free to use headings within your narrative of the unit rationale to organize your topic. You should also cite a minimum of 3 academic sources, which could include web-based articles, web-based journal articles, or textbooks that would support your rationale. Here are some questions and tips to consider prior to submitting your critical task. First, ask someone outside the group to read your unit plan for clarity. Ask, Could a group of teachers pick up this unit plan and follow it without any oral explanation from your group? Next, reread the rubric that will be used for scoring the submission. Does your submission aim for exemplary in each performance criterion? Third, make sure you have completed all required sections within the unit planning template. Fourth, make sure that you and your group members included all forms of assessment tools, both formative and summative, that are referenced within the unit plan. Would a student be able to use the assessment tools based on the directions you have included? Fifth, check again for clarity of your lesson plans that are included within the unit. Do all of those plans work together to provide a pathway for students to develop an enduring understanding of the topic? Do those plans allow students to conclude the unit by answering the unit's essential question? Finally, proofread your unit rationale. Does it discuss all assigned parts? Is it supported by references to 3 academic sources that are cited according to APA? What will you submit? All students will submit to Canvas, and degree-seeking students will also submit to LiveText 2 items. Number 1, the completed unit planning template, which should include all attachments as specified within the template. And 2, the completed peer evaluation form. For additional questions, please contact your instructor.